Good afternoon. This past Saturday, the community, the state of Florida, law enforcement from across the country gathered together to grieve and to honor a fallen hero. I'd like to offer my sincere condolences to the family of Ray Hamilton, to his wife Renee, and to his brothers and sisters in the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Department. This afternoon, a grand jury in Okaloosa County has returned an indictment charging Timothy Paul Price Williams with the first-degree murder of Corporal Ray Hamilton and 3 additional counts of attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer. He has now been served in the Okaloosa County Jail, where he will be held on no bond on all charges. I want to thank Sheriff Aiden, the brave men and women of the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, my assistant state attorneys, who have worked tirelessly this past 2 weeks under especially difficult circumstances to prepare this case for presentment today to the grand jury. And while we're all very pleased with the findings of the grand jury, I want to remind you that indictment is not the end of the case, it is just the beginning. The defendant was taken into custody shortly after the crimes were committed and has again already been served with the indictment. His arraignment has been scheduled for February the 16th. If he is convicted of these charges, the court has no options other than to sentence the defendant to life in prison or to death. In the next couple of weeks, I will convene a death penalty review committee who will look at the facts and the circumstances in this case, who will look at the law that controls death penalty cases, and they will determine whether or not the death penalty is an appropriate sentence. As you know, the state attorney's office and the investigators must abide by both the legal and ethical restrictions put on us and our ability to comment on the evidence. With this being a grand jury case that was just heard today, as you know, I'm very limited in the comments or the questions that I may answer today. At this time, we are limited to only the information contained in the 4 corners of the indictment. With that said, I assure you we will provide you, as it becomes available to us, whatever information we're permitted to, so that you may then disclose it to your readers, to your viewers, etc. At the conclusion of this press conference, this announcement, I will provide you with a copy of the indictment. I've got those with me here today, as well as a printed press release. The best way for my office to honor Corporal Ray Hamilton is to do everything that we can to protect the integrity of the case and ensure a successful outcome. Sheriff Aiden, comments?
The only comment I'd like to make is I want to thank Ms. Madden and her staff, all of them, for the diligent efforts that they've made to bring this swift and efficient first step forward in bringing justice to the Hamilton family in Ray's honor and for the brave men and women that serve this great community.
And Sheriff, is the death penalty something that you would want to see?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The only two sentences that would be available to a court to impose would be a life in prison sentence or a death penalty if that were found to be appropriate.
I have one more question. In your career, have you prosecuted a case like this involving the murder of a law enforcement officer, and were you successful? Do you anticipate the same thing here?
Well, I have been prosecuting here in the First Circuit in Okaloosa County for 26 years and the First Circuit for 28. To my knowledge, in that 28 years, I think we have lost 5 officers in the line of duty. I believe this is the first time, and Sheriff, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that the defendant or the suspect in this case survived, whether by suicide or he was killed in the event.